Hey everyone, it's Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm your host, Ron Fish. I'm going to tell you the truth. And first of all, Happy New Year's, everyone. I'm going to tell you the truth about how cowardly the Philadelphia Eagles are. That's the only word I can think of is cowards. That's what they are. And very fortunate a win by the Cowboys, and how I'm just sick and tired of the refereeing in college and pro football. Well, first of all, we'll talk about the Eagle game. That was utterly ridiculous how they've played the second half of the season. They played like the Cowboys should have beat them. The Bills should have beat them. The Giants could have beat them. The Cowboys end up turning around destroying them. The Niners destroyed them, and they threw away the game against the Seahawks, just not being able to get any stops and not playing smart offense. This game, when they went up 21-6 to end the half and Julio Jones scores, you got to put that game away. The Cardinals, they scored. Let me see how this. They literally, I think they literally scored 28 straight, 29 straight points, four straight possessions. I mean, it was ridiculous because the Eagles at 21-13, Smith had a wide open opportunity for a touchdown, and Hurts misses them. Hurts having a bad year. And once he missed them, and it could have been 28-13, which would maybe it would have stabilized the Eagles. The Cardinals came. They were coming right back because they scored in the third quarter easily. They came back and scored easily. They tied a 2-point conversion to Michael Wilson, who went bonkers. Then the Eagles put together a little bit of a drive in the fourth quarter, and Dallas Goedert touchdown. I'm thinking, you know what? They're not going to be able to hold them. So they just have to keep scoring because Carls went right down 4-4, easy touchdown to Michael Wilson, who was always open. He was kind of like that supermarket that's always open. He was always open. So the Cardinals do one of the stupidest things I've ever seen, because teams that don't win, even if they play a close game, they end up doing something stupid. The onside kick, the Eagles have the ball at the 35-yard line. You have got to be kidding me. This is that you have got to be kidding me type of deal. They have the ball at the Arizona 39-yard line. They get a first down to 20. Oh, that A.J. Brown got the ball. Now the Eagles, 20 yards in, you score. You know Kyler Murray's going to come down and tie the score. So, okay, you're going to go to overtime. That's what I'm thinking, because I knew they weren't going to stop Kyler Murray. But you can't give up a field goal. You're going to lose the game. And when it was fourth down and long, that's where the game really ended. The game ended on that drive. You got to run Swift. He loses. Well, once it was a holding penalty, you're screwed. And then they couldn't get on 3rd-19. There's a short pass to Kansas game. Well, you got to try for the 19 yards. You got to be aggressive in that situation, because you know what your defense, where your defense is playing, you got to get that 19. And they didn't. And I texted my Dallas Cowboy loving brother-in-law. I said, "You won the division because Kyle Murray's coming down the field to score." And he did. He went right down the field and scored a touchdown with 32 seconds left, and that was the game. And the Cardinals got whatever they wanted on those 4 straight drives. They were not to be stopped. And the punter was able to okay, I want to give you a bad stat to show you how, with all those pass rushers the Eagles got and some of the talent they have on the front line, and Bradbury and all those guys in the back line, which was just useless. Let me tell you about why I called the Philadelphia Eagles a bunch of cowards. There wasn't a single punt by the Eagles, by the Cardinals. They could have told the punter to stay home. That's embarrassing. The Cardinals had 3 wins, and they didn't even have to punt. on the road against Philadelphia. Their crowd was hoping, they were loud and hoping for a win, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. And unfortunately, Shaq Leonard, who I thought would help them, was just whiffing on tackles. So that didn't help. They didn't run Swift enough. They need to run Swift all the way into the end zone that last drive, make the worst rushing defense in the NFL get their money's worth. They didn't. And the Eagles couldn't stop the run or the pass. Kyler Murray is 25 of 31, 232, 3 touchdowns. James Conner, 26 rushes, 128 yards. Wilson, touchdown, 4 receptions. Dortch, 7 receptions for 82 yards. They did whatever they wanted. Connor blew them away, destroyed them, ran all over them. They looked like the better team. Now the Eagles blew the division. Now I'm going to get to the rest of the NFL after this. All right, the Cowboys and Lions and that controversy. I'm tired of bad officiating, man. It permeated in college. The other day I watched a college football game where it was Ohio State and Missouri. The Missouri quarterback draws Ohio State off sides, and it's a free play. Throws the ball in the end zone, touchdown. Then they change it and say, "Well, the play was dead." The play's never dead on those kind of plays. But when you're lazy and kind of out of shape, what these officials are, you're going to start making up rules. And one of these days, I hope it's not going to be Michigan, Alabama, or Washington, Texas, is going to be a bad call. And they're going to be, it's going to cost the team a national championship, and then afterwards there'll be an apology. Well, we got it wrong. Whoops, my bad. Your season's screwed. So what? That could happen in the NFL. It favored Dallas this week, but last week Dallas got some bad calls that helped Miami, and I was thinking, man, they could have got a better whistle. Maybe they win that game. But this was bad because I watched the official and they got reprimanded, but it's too late. The Eagles probably didn't deserve to win the division, but the Lions could have got the 2 seed. They could have Dallas come to their place, and they're set up to go to the NFC Championship game. But like bad calls affect seasons when you're just not there hustling, or you're a little tired because you're out of shape and you just miss a call. That costs teams. Dallas should have put the game away. In all fairness, they after Goff was bad interception, Dallas had a chance to put the game away, and they almost fell for a field goal. And I wasn't crazy how Goff played because they pressured him pretty good. But that last drive, he caught fire. Driving down the field, Laporta was a big part of that drive. Amon St. Brown, touchdown. And Campbell's going for 2. Why not? I won the division. I got nothing to lose. They get I watched both linemen went to report to the official. One of the linemen let him know. I don't know if the other lineman did. Now, if the other, I think number 70 kind of told them everything they were going to do, but the official was running away, so he couldn't listen. So all he knew is 68 is an illegal touch after a touchdown. That's ridiculous. And the Cowboys were able to win. The Cowboys lost that game. They only had one timeout, and the game was over, and the Lions threw a great play. Awesome play. They win, but then the flag comes out. And that's happening a lot. Happened in the Super Bowl. It's just happening a lot where the NFL is not about as much talent. It's about these flags coming out. And Goodell's so incompetent, he is not going to make the adjustment. He doesn't see what people see. It's bad call after bad call after bad call. You look at the Seattle Eagles game, the receiver got held on the Eagles. They didn't call it. Ticky-tack foul on Bradbury, they call it. They're out of position. So they just call what they see. So they're just making it all up. And people are saying the NFL's round think it was rigged. It's a bad look. But now you never know. It could go down. It could go against Dallas in the playoffs, and Dallas could say, we got screwed at home. We lost at home because of a bad call, because of a out-of-shape official not hustling, not seeing the right call, and you lose the game over it. One of those calls that can't go into replay. but this was bad. It was a nice game, but the Cowboys have won the East Division. There's no way they're losing to Washington. That's it, because Washington's quit. Washington shut it down. So the Cowboys are going into Washington with a just show up, collect your paycheck, get your win, get out of there, get out of there healthy. The Eagles, it doesn't matter what even the Eagles beat the Giants. And in my heart, they're cowards, and their organization got some soul searching to do. That's too much talent to be losing games like that, losing to the Jets, losing to the Cardinals. So if they go out and just beat up on the Giants, it's a meaningless game because you're still stuck in the 5 seed. And Tampa, all Tampa Bay has to do is even they lost the throwaway game this week, but all Tampa has to do because they got a better conference record is win against the Panthers. Panthers not going to beat anybody. I beat the Panthers, and they win the South because I'm looking at it right now. Tampa, I believe they have a better conference record than Atlanta and New Orleans. So Tampa just has to win, and they're in, and they are division winners, and they'll play the Eagles, and they'll beat the Eagles. I may join FanDuel or one of those gambling sites and put money on Tampa. I don't like Baker Mayfield. I'm not crazy about him. He's having a good year. If they were going to play Dallas, Dallas was going to kill him. But they're going to play the Eagles. This is what happen. They're going to play the Eagles. They're going to beat the Eagles in Tampa. They're going to pay the Eagles back for a loss earlier. Skip Bayless is going to go on his show and brag and tell you, I told you so how great this man is. He's got competitive greatness. He's this, he's that. He's having a good year. But what's going to happen is he's going to talk. He's going to overhype him. He's going to overrate him. And then what's going to happen is the Niners will destroy them. They will destroy Tampa. So what happens? This is now because of what happened. The Niners have a double bye to the NFC Championship game until they see probably the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys have the 2 seed thanks to this gift they got, and Dak Prescott pulling a Houdini act, throwing that 96-yard touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb. I will tell you one thing: if you're an opponent of the Cowboys, Dak Prescott's having a fantastic year. To me, he's behind McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson as far as the MVP. Easily. And in my next segment, I'll get to Baltimore in the AFC. But Dak Prescott is just having an out of body, not out of body experience, because he's playing extremely well. 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's it. He cut down his interceptions. 32. He's just playing at a high level, and he's converting on third. He got clobbered on third down blitz package play. Completed almost through his sidearm to CeeDee Lamb as 2 defenders hit him on the money, first down. If you're a defender, like, how do we stop this guy? Now, Detroit did good containing him, but he's the hardest quarterback in all of the NFL to try to put on the ground. He just gets sliver out, shake the defenders off. That is another element. He'll run it here and there, but his ability to shake off the tacklers in the pocket, and then now he gets out of the pocket, CeeDee Lamb or Ferguson or Cooks are open. So that's an advantage. They're not running the ball well. They're going to have to short it up. The one thing that could be a problem with Dallas is that if I'm Dallas, I'm hoping I get the Vikings because that's a scrimmage, or the Saints or the Falcons, just some easy game just to get out of the way and move on to Detroit. It looks like the Rams are going to be locked in with Detroit. The Rams are dangerous. This is where the Rams will be in major trouble. Matthew Stafford's going back to Detroit. This is Detroit's first home game since 93. That crowd is since 93, 92, 91. No, 92 when they lost to the Packers. And Sterling Sharp made that great catch. But they will be out. That crowd will be out of their minds cheering for Detroit. And I just think they'll run into a hornet's nest as good as the Rams are. Detroit will win that. The problem that Dallas might have is a red hot Green Bay team. For whatever reason, ever since the Michael Irvin days where they beat Brett Favre every time in the regular season, I remember a Thanksgiving, their third string quarterback, Jason Garrett, went off. And they always beat him in the playoffs and championship games. And then when Aaron Rodgers came around, Aaron Rodgers never, maybe one time, but Aaron Rodgers never ever loses to the Cowboys. Even last year, the Cowboys were better. That they, whatever, for whatever reason, they give the Cowboys trouble. And Love is playing good. They're running the ball good. And sometimes the Cowboys could be. I don't think Green Bay will be intimidated playing in Jerry's world at all. If the Cowboys draw the Packers, that's a problem. They're going to have to fight through that game. I think they could win. Now, could they just go out there and play the potential destroy Green Bay? Yeah. But I think matchup-wise, Love will play good. Their defense is starting to come around. They'll probably double team CeeDee Lamb because LaFleur's a good coach and he's smart. So Cooks and Ferguson have to beat you. They're starting to defend the run good. But the Cowboys are better. But that could be a game where it could be overtime or a late Dak touchdown or a bad call. The way the NFL's going, it's about the flags now. It's not about the talent anymore. And that's why the NFL is losing some of its luster. But if the Cowboys draw the Rams going to give the Cowboys trouble. But the Cowboys could get by them. I think defensively, the Rams have trouble stopping like they did in the regular season. But offensively, if they don't put some heat on Matthew Stafford, that's going to be a back and forth shootout. And maybe the Cowboys get through that. Cowboys and Detroit. Detroit has to go back to Jerry's world to try to run it back instead of getting the Cowboys in Detroit, which would have happened if it wasn't for that call. So the Cowboys should be thankful right now. They don't have to go on the road. They're at home. They just have to watch out for Green Bay, I believe. And then take care of Detroit, and then you get to the Niners. The Cowboys have a harder road than the Niners. I mean, unless Green Bay don't get in. If you get Minnesota and you get that garbage, then the Cowboys have an easy path. But I think it's going to be a harder path because you got to beat the Packers. Then you got to turn around after beating the Lions in a controversial game and try to go back and beat them once again after a couple weeks later after you beat them before the tight game. Whereas the 49ers got nothing. You either get the cowards from Philadelphia or you get Baker Mayfield, who's having a good year, but Tampa's all right. And then a team that's okay going out there to San Francisco to get slaughtered. So really the 49ers have a double bye. And the Cowboys got a little bit of a tough road. I think we're headed for another Cowboys 49er championship game in Frisco. Okay, AFC, then Baltimore destroyed Miami. I thought it'd be a little closer game. This game got out of hand. Miami scores first, and Baltimore, they were able to score right back. There was a play where it was early. I knew it was going to get out of hand when it was a screen pass to the fullback on Baltimore. It was 3rd and 16, and Miami had it covered, and he still got the 16 yards. And I said, yep, that's game. And they ended up tying the score. Once they were even, they were leaving. And it was just, whew. Then after a 20-yard touchdown, it's Justin Hill who scored, who got the screen pass. And then Gus Edwards, they ran. What happens is in the second quarter, they ran the ball down Miami's throat. Gus Edwards and Justice Hill just over and over and over. Now, that opens up man for man, but Miami's pulling way up on the line of scrimmage. And now he throws a 35-yard touchdown to Likely. Then Lamar Jackson, likely another touchdown. Zay Flowers, 75-yard touchdown because they were crammed up on the line of scrimmage. And Jamal Jackson seeing vanilla coverages because you can't stop the run. Now you got to go way up on the line of scrimmage, and he's just tearing through that defense. And then even Tyler Huntley got involved with a touchdown. They just destroyed. And Tua threw a bad interception toward the end of the half. Baltimore scores right at the end of the half, and it was on after that. Baltimore scoring every time they get a chance. And Chubb on Miami's out for the season. Miami is limping. They might get some players back for Buffalo. Miami looked like they were going backwards, but Tua, he was 22 or 38 for 237, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's accurate, nice throws, bad throws. Miss throw on third down, nice throw on third down. You're playing the Baltimore Ravens, you're going to get crushed. You're on the road, and you're hit or miss, you're going to get destroyed the way they got beat. They got beat the way they were supposed to. Baltimore's on fire. They get to take a week off if they want. They got the home field advantage. Miami and Buffalo. Buffalo won. Miami and Buffalo's huge. That's what's going to come down to. Miami and Buffalo. Who wins the division? Buffalo is on fire. I'm believing Buffalo will. Kansas City had blood and guts win against Cincinnati. Was Buckner had to make a lot of field goals for him to win. And then there's one play that got him an 8-point lead when Mahomes willed his way to a 1-yard gain on fourth down. I love that about what he did, and end up winning. Rice is starting to come along. Kelsey will be just fine. I think he starts to catch balls in the playoffs. I think they'll get out of the first round, whoever they play. Probably be the Texans. They'll beat the Texans. Texans don't have the experience. And then Mahomes will probably have to go to Buffalo. Pittsburgh. See, Baltimore's playing Pittsburgh, and they have nothing to play for, but there's no way. Because it's a rivalry, everybody's playing. Huntley's not playing, and Pittsburgh wins and gets in the playoffs in Baltimore. Baltimore's like, they're going to do that with our dead body. I don't think they're going to be at 56-19. I think they're going to win. Beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will still get in if the Titans beat the Jaguars. That would be so Pittsburghish to just lose and backdoor your way to the darn wild card. But, I mean, you have to play Buffalo. You'll be gone in the first round. What's going to happen is, I'm going to tell you right now, because everybody in the world with this 56-19 win by Baltimore, they destroyed Detroit. They destroyed the Niners. They destroyed the Dolphins. And they destroyed Jacksonville. The team. Now, I would say if Jacksonville wins and they win their division, they play Cleveland. Cleveland's going to beat them. And I think Cleveland could beat the Baltimore Ravens. I think Joe Flacco could get revenge. It's not going to be no 50 with their defense. It's not going to be no 56-19 because they play every bit as tough and physical as Baltimore. And they match up good with Baltimore. And they're not afraid to walk into Baltimore. They already did it. They run the ball well. They got the receivers. They know Lamar Jackson. That's the team. If I'm Baltimore, I don't want nothing to deal with Cleveland. I think Cleveland can make a run because of Flacco. It just feels like they are. And they'll be like 10-point underdogs in Baltimore. And Baltimore has yet to prove their playoff. Now they want to. Lamar, like what Lamar Jackson said, I want to prove, but the playoffs matter. That's what matters. Can they do that? And not only that, say for instance, Buffalo and Kansas City play. Buffalo, Josh Allen is 3-0 against Lamar Jackson. So the three teams that will give Baltimore a lot of trouble is Kansas City because they're champs. And their defense, they play championship defense. This offense, Scantling can't catch a cold. But Rice is developing a little. Pacheco runs like crazy. So there's a physicality to Kansas City. They're still a little unorganized on offense. But as long as you got Jones on defense and Gay as linebacker, they got all three levels that are pretty solid. Spags will dial something up against Baltimore should go to Super Bowl, but I've seen all these. Oh, they're shoo-ins for the Super Bowl teams. Don't make it. Um, you never know who's going to come out. Indianapolis could make it, but I don't think they're going to be one and done. I like Buffalo, Miami. I like Kansas City winning their division. They've won their division already. Um, Miami, actually, they'll be the wild card. Ooh, you know what? If Miami loses, they would have to they would have to go to Arrowhead. I kind of wouldn't be interested in that. That could be tricky for Kansas City. Tariq Hill goes to Arrowhead. And then you have Matthew Stafford going to Detroit. Boy, and then Green Bay and the long-standing rivalry of the Cowboys. Boy, the NFL, if they luck out like that, that'd be good. I hope my Steelers get in and have to. I'll take my chances going to Buffalo. Wait, I got nothing to lose. They're supposed to win anyway. But Buffalo's gonna win this division. Miami blew the division already. But there you have it. Man, I just see even Pittsburgh lose, they could get in with the Titans beating Jacksonville, which is probably not going to happen. But Tomlin is 21, 22 straight, 21 straight winning seasons. Wow. No, 17 straight winning seasons past George House. Papa Bear is amazing. Um, Baltimore should go Super Bowl, but I'm not going to sleep on the champs. I'm not going to sleep on how hot the Bills are. I'm definitely not going to sleep on Joe Flacco.